How Manchester United's destiny may have been different had Michael Knighton's proposed takeover ever have gone through. Knighton's ball-juggling cameo at Old Trafford ahead of the 1989 season opener, though, was to be his only contribution to United's history. Opponents Arsenal on this day were fresh from their last second title win at Anfield the previous May.
Michael Knighton's fresh financial backing in the boardroom has dominated the hours leading up to the kickoff, but now it's the turn of the fresh faces on the field to point the way to a more profitable future at Old Trafford. Neil Webb's portfolio includes 17 England caps from his time at Nottingham Forest. Michael Phelan revealed character and class as captain at Norwich City during their creditable showing last season. Webb and Phelan, the new names in midfield, but the defence is a familiar mix after this week's fruitless pursuit of Middlesbrough's Gary Pallister. Experienced fullbacks Viv Anderson and Colin Gibson are still on the casualty list, but 18-year-old Lee Sharp has recovered from a knee problem to provide width on the left-hand side. Brian Marwood makes a reappearance for Arsenal after Achilles tendon trouble. Marwood for the injured Steve Bold is the one change from their lineup at Liverpool last May, but it does entail a tactical alteration, Arsenal reverting back to a straight 4-4-2 and discarding the sweeper system which was unveiled here in April when the Arsenal captain Tony Adams scored for both sides in a 1-1 draw. Arsenal will certainly remember referee David Hutchinson, who was also the referee on their historic night at Liverpool back on May the 26th. Manchester United kick off. They finished 11th last season in the bottom half of the table for the first time for 15 years since they were relegated, in fact, in 1974. But it's a new era now at the club. Here's Nigel Winterburn for the champions. David Rocastle has made a great run and was a whisker away from giving this match a sensational start. The marking was all over the place, and a glancing header there might have done the trick past Jim Leighton, but Rocastle couldn't make contact. And here's Brian Robson trying to set out the stall for the home side. They were a little uncertain, to say the least, in their defending a moment or two ago. But the captain has earned them a free kick. What a stimulus an early goal for Manchester United would be. It's Blackmore's shot that flicks away for the corner. Lee Sharp coming across to take it. Driven in low, and Steve Bruce! The new regime at Manchester United off to a flying start. Inside the second minute. Arsenal were slow to react at the set play. And Steve Bruce really threw himself in. And the ball sped past Lukic. Well, the champions getting an early taste of the difficulties, considerable I'm sure they will be, at defending the title. Webb and Robson in harness now with club, and that must be to the benefit of the England manager Bobby Robson. I'm sure that was a factor in Neil Webb's decision to choose Manchester United when he decided to leave Nottingham Forest to link up with Robson. In fact, they almost linked too closely then, going for the same ball. Hughes. And Brian Robson has made a terrific run. Kevin Richardson, can he keep him at bay? He couldn't, but Lukic did. At times last season, watchers of Manchester United felt that Brian Robson was reined in a little too much. He's so effective when he springs ahead of the ball. And he was beautifully found. And Lukic made an exceptional save. That's Hughes. This is Lukic, didn't really get there. Did Tony Adams push then? He surely did. A penalty to Manchester United, with Steve Bruce making his presence felt again in the Arsenal penalty area. The captain asked the referee for confirmation, but he knew Lukic wasn't altogether decisive. Then it came off Richardson. Keep your eye on the number 6, Adams. And there he pushes Bruce. Brian McClare for 2-0, and John Lukic, incredibly, saves the penalty. It's his 3rd penalty save on this ground against United. One when he was playing for Leeds, and this is 2nd for Arsenal, and all 3 have been at that end of the ground. He said to me before the game, I daren't save them at the Stretford end. But Brian McClare has wasted a great opportunity to really confirm Manchester United's superiority. In fairness to McClare, he didn't get much penalty practice last season. But John Lukic read his mind. And the goalkeeper, whose position seemed to be under some threat when Arsenal were talking about signing David Seaman. Lukic made a brilliant save, and while we're talking about that, Tony Adams has gone off and Gus Caesar has come on. Manchester United have the free kick. Mark Hughes lets fly. Welcome back, First Division football. We've missed you. This is electrifying. Hughes connected well. Lukic got a touch as he thrust up an arm. It was a much easier save than the penalty stop. Michael Phelan in plenty of space. The flag is up for offside as Phelan looked to loop it towards the far post. Racing through the mind of Lukic, the responsibility here that he took in saving from Brian McClare and kept Arsenal in the game. Minutes gone. Alan Smith's up well. Gus Caesar is moving towards the drop of the ball, but Mike Duxbury got there first. In his testimonial year, and few players have deserved a testimonial more than the loyal Mike Duxbury, who has put his club before his own personal career many times in the past. And a goal! David Rocastle. Arsenal give another twist to this captivating plot. Jim Leighton's turn to reflect. And we've had a goal aside from a corner kick routine. And that puts the penalty missed by McClare into somewhat sharper relief. Well, it's now to add to the considerable number of events we've had in this first half that are worth taking note of. We've got an injured referee. Looks like a problem to the left calf. And the combined talents of Gary Lewin on the left and Jim McGregor, the physiotherapists of Arsenal and Manchester United respectively, put to work to try and solve the problem. Now, it could be that the problem can't be solved. That's Paul Dalton, who is the fourth official. There's a question here of who is the senior linesman. So, John Richardson. Replaces David Hutchinson. Paul Dalton will be the substitute linesman. I'm happy to get it forward for Arsenal. Mason's overhit Richardson. Deflected off Hughes, who got a blow around the jaw from the ball. That's got him shaking his head a little ruefully. It was from the ball, I stress. Robson trying to sneak forward undetected. It's harder and harder for him to do that, even though he got to the ball first. Well, the first half with so much to talk about. Steve Bruce with a great start for Manchester United, a goal after 100 seconds. John Lukic kept Arsenal afloat with his third penalty save on this ground, and David Rocastle gave Arsenal an equaliser, another goal from a corner after 21 minutes. We've even lost the match referee as well at half-time at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1. The Manchester United penalty miss will bring back memories for Brian McClare, unhappy memories. He, you might recall, a couple of years ago missed a last-minute penalty in a cup tie at Highbury. On that occasion, he blasted it over the top, if memory serves me right. But he's joined the list now, which includes Jimmy Nicholl and Norman Whiteside of Manchester United penalty takers who've been denied by John Lukic. Watching with total concentration, and as a football man, realising, I'm sure, that the job isn't done yet in this opening game. Manchester United looking to come again here with Duxbury. Hughes, that's a great turn, Mark Hughes! A rasping shot past Lukic, but it was the twist, the spin that made the goal possible. He lost O'Leary, and it went under the goalkeeper. Very difficult for goalkeepers to drop when they come there. Manchester United are back in front. Well, it looked over the back end of last season that Hughes and McClare felt the pressure of the responsibility of goal scoring that was really just upon their shoulders alone. And I think the break will have done Hughes good. It certainly looked that way when he whipped past O'Leary and left Lukic picking the ball out of the net. Phelan. Webb goes ahead of him. Hughes is in the centre, and he's offside. Well, Mark Hughes, who was the sharp edge there for Manchester United, just when they were looking as though they were redoubling their efforts after a rather stale spell. And the match has had one or two quiet patches after that extraordinary opening, but it's very much back on song now. Hughes, who loves to take his shots early, and when you've just scored, you don't think twice about attempting, I think, what was in the end a half volley when the ball was half a yard behind him. It's almost impossible to get it on target, but as a pairing, Hughes and McClare are the admiration of most First Division managers, and it's a reflective George Graham at the moment. You really cannot underestimate the importance for Manchester United to get off to the right sort of start. They haven't lived up to early expectations, and they're sick of the statistic that they haven't won the championship since 1967. Arsenal haven't won it, remember, since 71, so maybe in breaking the mould, as Arsenal did last season, that's encouraged some of the others who've had to wait a long time. It can be done. Merson. This is Sharp. O'Leary. Duxbury had plotted the trajectory well, but Phelan wanted too long as Winterburn came in. McClare hoping that he could take it on the burst. Blackmore, and Hughes was free. McClare! Lukic parries, it's Hughes with the rebound, and Lukic has recovered. At a time when a third goal would finish even a team of such resolve as Arsenal. Brian McClare would like to wipe out the miss of the memory of the penalty miss. Donaghy had to deal with a cross that seemed to dip and swerve a little on him late. Phelan, it's a fine ball to Sharp. And Hughes infield. It may well be that Lee Sharp won't see this game out because of his absence in some of the pre-season training. Caesar, and Hughes doing his work in making Caesar play it back. Smith, can he take it first time? He does! And that's really been Arsenal's best moment since they went 2-1 down. One long ball catching Manchester United short of concentration at the back. And Smith got it past Leighton, but a yard or so past the post. Lee Martin has come on for Lee Sharp. They think very highly at Manchester United about Lee Martin. And Merson, for the second time, uses up playing time, is only to the advantage of Manchester United. It is a significant season for Alex Ferguson, but I must say he was very relaxed before the kickoff, considering the goings-on at the club over the past 48 hours. Martin.
And today's attendance is
47,245. Quite locally at Hyde. As I say, they really believe he's got a major future in the game, in Manchester United management. One of the fascinating features of every season is to see how youngsters do develop, and of course the sad side of that some fade away. Webb. Neil Webb with a classic volley to embroider his first league game for Manchester United. And with just over 10 minutes remaining, this really should shore up the 3 points on a very big day for the club. So sweetly struck. And that is international class. That's what Manchester United have paid £1.5 million for. Webb. A measure of his confidence. But his greatest mark on the game, that first goal for Manchester United from Neil Webb. Hughes. Phelan. Arsenal could lose here by an increasing number. They are now 4-1 down. Brian McClure. The goals won't necessarily tell the story of the game, but the United supporters do not care about that. They came at a trickle through most of last season, but they're coming as a flood now and against the champions themselves. McClare made a mess of the penalty, but not with the left foot shot high into the top corner. Manchester United, after the disappointments of last season, have really prospered in the Old Trafford sunshine. A most eventful week for Manchester United has a perfect ending. They've beaten the champions by 4-1. Mark Hughes with a moment of inspiration, really the turning point to make it 2-1, 17 minutes into the second half. Neil Webb with a superb volley. No wonder he beamed at the end of it all. And Brian McClare rounding it off with the fourth, making up for his first half penalty miss. The mood seemed to have been set by Steve Bruce in the second minute of the game, giving Manchester United the lead. But David Rocastle did equalise amidst a welter of activity on the field. One performance doesn't make a season, but on the evidence of 90 minutes, Manchester United have plenty to look forward to, and Arsenal have got a lot of hard thinking to do.